Right, greetings everyone from a very quiet Sunday morning at the London School of Mosaic. And what we're going to be doing is just going through the booklet again, the Making Roman Mosaics. And what we're on now is section 4, tools to cut a tesserae with. So, what tools do you use to cut tesserae? Well, basically, it depends what tesserae you've got. Obviously, if you're going to just use, if you just get to cut up card, then use a pair of scissors. So it's what's suitable for the job, the materials that you have. Now, obviously, the first thing people think about with Roman mosaics is marble, other stone, and obviously that's a bit out of some people's budget, and it's sometimes very difficult to get hold of. But if you're lucky enough to get marble, then the standard tools that you hear about is the hammer and Hardy. Now, this Hardy's been set into a block. This type is set into another metal plate. These ones are slightly more expensive, but the idea is that these go on the table and you use them that way. They're portable. How far you're going to go, I don't know with it, but let's say you can see with this that the Hardy is just set into a very short block. You could put that on a stool. You could put that even on a table. You will also get I can't lift it up here. They got half a tree down here with the Hardy set on that. So as you're sitting at the desk, the Hardy's up the same height. Now, Hammer and Hardy, I tend to say, is for stone that is over about 6 mil, so over about that thickness, if you can see. Under that, yes, you can use nippers, but over that, because of the stress on your wrist, I'd always say use a Hammer and Hardy. Now, if you're using ceramics, unglazed or glazed, or the sort of other like machine cut materials, artificial materials, the one you're most commonly seen is the side biter ones here, and these are like your common tiling tools. There's a way to use these properly, but one thing I always would say with these is be aware that there is, if I get close to the camera and you're not going to see, I put it in front of my nose, there is a very slight slant to the blade, to the top of the blade. Very, very slight. It's almost imperceptible. So what you will find sometimes, if your cuts are angling down, then you just need to compensate. And if I exaggerate by altering the angle, that's exact. But just to be aware of. The other ones are these wheeled nippers. I've never used these at all. As far as I know, they're used for glass, that sort of thing. I believe you can cut smolty with it, which is the thicker glass. But mainly, you'll see the materials that you can get is these side biter ones. Now, both of these you will be able to see when you've got a pair close to you. The blades don't actually meet because we talk about cutting the material, but what you're actually doing is sending a fracture through it. So it's quite normal that the blades don't meet in the same way as when you're using the Hammer and Hardy. Oh, get it on the screen. Using the Hammer and Hardy, that you don't have the hammer hitting the Hardy every time. You will at first when you start. So we're sending a fracture through the material from the top and the bottom, and that makes the cut. So as opposed to cutting like a pair of scissors. Now, the cheapest way to start off when you're using solid material is just get a pair of side biters, and the other material, the sort of like ceramics, unglazed ceramics are great because they're fairly soft. And then just learn to use the tools properly. There is a free course online that I've got for the using the Hammer and Hardy if you get to that stage. But just with any of these lever tools, just use the lever. What I mean by that is the longer the lever, the more force you can exert. Therefore, your hand needs to be down here. Be wary of your hand creeping up and you're cutting like that because you're having to put a lot more pressure on than if your hand further down. And obviously with all of these, because of the danger of chips flying around, make sure you've got some eye protection as well. So just a brief look over the tools. And later on, next one is going to be going over the types of cut that you make, and that's going to be the same for whatever material you're using. So thanks very much.